Hello everyone and welcome to GMT Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis and we're here in Australia for the Australian Grand Prix. Normally the first race on the calendar, but we've mixed season around and it's now at the end of the season, but still a very important race as we got a pretty intense championship battle popping up between Ricky and Matty Robbo. We saw Ricky scoring some great and really important points last week out at Silverstone, where Matty Robbo had a little bit of a bad race. Matty wants to bounce back, Ricky wants to keep this momentum going. We're gonna wait and see how it's all gonna pan out after 15 minutes of qualifying and 26 laps in the race. Like I said before, Lewis is in the commentary box with me once again. Happy you're here, mate. How are you doing?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm very well, thanks, Thomas. As always, it's a pleasure on a Monday night to be starting the week with some contest speed action and the Tier 3 boys. And like you say, the championship is getting exciting now. It's at the crunch point. We've got some big tracks which can make or break the championship coming up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely looking forward to it. I at least did a better intro already than last week, so that's already an improvement. Currently on board with Ricky, as he is still on his out lap, but he is about to start the first flying lap, and let's see what he can do. So like we said before, people to keep an eye out for Ricky and Matty. They are in the big championship battle. Rage Snipes always quick, definitely in qualifying. Same goes on for Jacek. So yeah, those are the names we're probably gonna see on top of the list. On the left hand side we go on board with Ricky actually, who is going through turn 3 now on towards turn 4, and then the tricky turn 5, which if you clip the curb can really put you off, but he negotiates it very well towards the end of sector 1 with a 26.3, and then turn 6 and 7, and then on towards the first chicane, which isn't a really tricky one. The second one is. We'll tell you a little bit more about it as soon as we approach it. On towards the little straight, no DRS here, but it's really important to stay really close to the car in front, as the detection point is just before the chicane. Here it is, turn 11 and turn 12, and we'll see a lot of pressures right here, I think, during the race. A DRS section here, and then a double right-hander for Ricky to negotiate before the last two turns. So this is the second part of the right-hander, and then we've got the left-right before the end of the lap. So left corner, pit entry on the right-hand side, through the last turn, keep the momentum going. DRS open once again, on towards the line as Ricky puts in a 119.8, currently P1.
Lovely job by Ricky. Only 3 guys with lap time so far. They'll all start coming through now as Charlie does a 120.1, so Ferrari 1-2 for now. And another thing I was going to say, obviously, is it feels like an age since the last time we've been to Australia for a season of racing. I can't remember the last time I remember one race, and it was one of the very first ones we commentated on, and that was season 3 or 4. We must have done another Australia race since then, surely.
Yeah, but I don't think
it wasn't part of last season.
No, definitely not. And the season before that, I don't think we commentated together.
Yeah, we did. Actually, no, you're right. No, we didn't, because it was Tier 2.
Yeah.
That was my debut Tier 2 race.
So it wasn't season 5, it wasn't season 4. So the last season was season 3. Oh my days.
Which was the famous Wisey Boy race, where we thought Wisey could not do. We thought we missed some strategy.
Oh, that's what you talked about last week. And people are just like, people are now on the stream like, what are these guys talking about? But it's clicking now. The puzzle is getting complete, and now all the little. Yeah, I remember. I remember very well.
Yeah, it's crazy. We haven't seen much action with Australia. Obviously, we missed it last season. And being at the end of this season, it's probably been well over a year since the last time anyone did an Australia race. And for us, obviously commentating on, it's been comfortably over a year. So it's good to be back.
It's really good. It's really good to be back.
And we got that, like you say, that famous chicane, where it's not quite as bad in this game, but on heavy fuel loads, it can still very much, you hit that curb wrong, that back end is just over, and
in the race with the heavy fuel. It's not gonna be a tricky one to negotiate with the dirty air as well from cars in front. It's not gonna make a life easy, so people have to watch out. People have to make sure they've got a stable setup, because if the car is loose on either the front or the back, then it's gonna be a very tough race. 26 laps to negotiate, and those are gonna be 26 very long laps if your car is unstable.
Absolutely. So, not many people, as my phone just drops there, not many people have the field so far during lap times. Strategy, obviously, now with the tyres being soft, medium, hard, I'm guessing, if I remember rightly, again, with us tyre strategy are great, it can be a two-stop, can't it? Unless they've changed the tyre strategy.
Well, it's a pretty straightforward one stop from soft to hard. That's no problem. People can gamble on going from soft to medium. That is possible as well, but you have to manage your tires pretty well. Knowing that, I don't think the two stop is gonna work. But this is a track where grip will give you a lot of time. So maybe with the safety car coming out, or with a virtual safety car in a strategic place, then we can definitely see the two-stop getting to work around here. But if it just stays like green conditions, or just with a normal safety car where no one can gain any advantage, then we will definitely see just a one-stop. And it will depend on people being careful on the tires or not. So it will either be a soft to medium or a soft to hard. People outside of top 10, they obviously get a free choice of tire to start on. I think they would just go for a medium hard or a medium soft if they can stretch it.
Yeah, I guess that is the best way. It's always the way, personally, a soft tyre, even if you don't get in the top 10, having a fresh set of softs if you're in starting P11, P12, I always find is really useful, because you get a great start, and obviously you've got those little extra couple of laps where it matters. You've got that grip, and you can, if you want to, extend, or you can just pit at the same time as the others ahead of you. Obviously, being on those medium tyres does mean your hard's going to be much fresher, so the second half of the race should be better, but if it's not much drop on the hard tyre, it's not going to be that massive difference. Just looking on people out laps at the moment.
Lars is about to set a lap, and we go on board with Ricky.
Ricky's 10th up at the moment, and he's still a 10th up. Oh, he did that lovely. Oh, that chicane there. And now into these lovely right-handers. If you try and attack this corner, you go wide. This one again, you've got to get the line perfect, a little bit too wide, and then you're off wide on the exit. Tightest corner on the track, much slower than you think. Final corner, trying to get on the throttle early, but not running too wide. Start, finish straight. That's an improvement, massive. That final sector was really tidy, and Ricky is on a mission.
Ricky is flying around the track at this point. He is 7 tenths clear from his teammate in P2. 7 tenths? That's insane. Matty is stuck in P6 with a 120.2. Look how close the rest of the field is, especially from P2 to like P6. But Ricky is on a different level. We've seen this before from Rage Snipes. We definitely haven't seen it yet from Ricky this season, but he is performing it when he should be. So great timing from Ricky. We saw Lars before Ricky's lap putting it up into P11. Good job from him as well. We've got Kitten as a replacement of Robert, so he is back in the car like he did at Silverstone. Roland is out again. He tried it on the mediums in the first place. Let's see on what tire he is at this point. Okay. Yep. He is on softs and he is about to start his lap, so actually get on board with the captain, as he is the one trying to improve on the P19, which shouldn't be that hard, as he will only have to put in a valid lap time to make that work. Was there anything else I wanted to talk? Well, yeah, we talked about the strategy and starting on the mediums. A lot of positives about the mediums. You can either go from mediums to hards, mediums to softs. But you have to keep in mind that when the safety comes out early on in the race, you're a little bit screwed over. I don't want to say your race is completely over because you can still go onto the hard, but your advantage is completely out the window. So with the safety car come out early in the race, there's no point being on the medium tire. But of course, that's something the drivers don't know. So you just have to take the risk, take the gamble, and see how it at the end works out. Yeah, that's just how it goes by starting on the mediums.
Yeah, and to me personally, I feel like it's such a because the risk, the probability of a safety car early is so high. That is the problem. Starting on a harder compound, Roland's his last sector ran a bit too deep, a little bit, not enough speed in the second corner there, second last corner, a bit deep. It's not a tiny lap from Roland. But yeah, it's, yes, last week I started on the softs, even though I was at the back of the grid for that very reason of, I wanted to try and get up the field, and I thought it was a better strategy, but also if there was a safety car, I could go onto the medium and it would last the rest of the race. And it almost worked, apart from, the game tried to mess me over, but that strategy helped massively, whilst if I'd started on the medium or hard, it wouldn't have worked.
No, definitely not. So that's a big positive from starting on those tires.
Obviously, that's only if there's a safety car early on. Statistically, it looks high, especially around a track like this. Turn 1 is notorious for a bit of mayhem as Roland has lost the rear end and he clips the wall. That's on an in-lap as well. Has he got wing damage? Because
we should be able to check that on test system. I will get that up on screen. I'm currently on board with Kelsey, and he is off into the wall. It's the first victim of turn 12, and there we have it. I said it at the beginning of the session, and here is the prime example. Losing the back end, coming out of turn 12, putting it up into the wall. That's qualifying over Kelsey, and he will be starting last place on the grid. That's a shame.
Yeah, it was funny, we both went on it at the same time and I just had a feeling he ran too deep, exit curb, and that was it, rear end over, and you just ain't going to save it. I think you're better off not trying to correct it. I think if you correct it, it just prolongs the inevitable. But yeah, it's been an issue since 2018, I think forever really. I remember it being an issue in 2018, 2019, 2020.
Yeah, it's always been a tricky corner, like no exceptions. There wasn't a game where it was easy to take. You would think so with the amount of downforce these cars are running, that it should be an easy job. It can still cut you out, so yeah, nothing guaranteed.
So let's see who is actually on a hot lap. Is anyone actually on a hot lap at the moment? Lars. Yes, Lars is on a hot lap. He's coming towards the end of his run.
Oh, yep, he is. Oh, he's an improvement by 5/10. It's looking like a really solid lap. Is Lars gonna put it inside the top 10 and he needs to gain a little bit more? He is gonna put it up into P10. You absolutely love to see it. Lars is on fire as well. Lars up into P10. You absolutely love to see it.
Absolutely. So, who else is on a hot lap? Just trying to see. I think. Justin. Justin's on a hot lap. No, he's not. He's backed out.
He backed out, but he is at the end, so he will probably have another go, or is he gonna come in? He is gonna come in, so he doesn't want to waste his tires even more. He's just gonna wait for his last run, gonna go into the pits, put on a new set of tires, and then immediately gonna go out again because he needs to hurry up a little bit if he wants to make it another hot lap. Lars is definitely over for today's qualifying session. He is not gonna put in another lap. Yeah, and this is the point where everyone is just waiting to go out at the absolute perfect moment to set the lap time. Although I think Rage Snipes is now starting a hot lap. Yes, he is. So we go on board with Rage Snipes.
Yeah, it's crucial for Rage. He's managed to invalidate. I think it was the old lap. But yeah, he's invalidated in the previous run. This is the final run. So can he avoid? Because this is the thing with Rage. He either does a great lap. Oh, Chizzy's retired. Same area. And Justin's retired as well. I think that's in the pits. But yeah, it's one of those. He either bangs it in or he invalidates. So, commentator's curse. Here we come. Sector 2 is about to come in as well. It's a 47.761. Nice. Nice, this looks good so far. Obviously we don't have a previous delta time. There's all or nothing here for Rage. More retirements, another car's crashed in, Hamilton.
Ooh, yep. I think that is that's a Williams as well. Who lost it.
Yeah.
So another one. Now it's Rage Snipes coming across the line. It is P1 for Rage Snipes, he does it once again. Don't rule out the racing point, because Rage Snipes has put it on pole position. So it's now all to play for Ricky.
Oh, look at J-Sack.
Oh, he's just splitting Rage Snipes and Ricky. Ricky dropping 2 positions in only 10 seconds. He won't be happy with that one, as he is now starting his old lap. So we go on board with the current championship leader. As it still says he is on his out lap. But
yeah, he only came out of the pits. He only just came out of the pits. So I'm guessing we're a little bit.
That would mean that we are behind by a lot. If
yeah.
This is true. And because Justin retired, I don't think we're too far behind, to be honest. Because otherwise, if we were that far behind, Justin would have been able to make it. Or would have been able to do another hot lap. It says now time remaining. Well, we just have to wait and see when someone comes across the line. That is Dan.
Matty.
That's Matty, I'm sorry. And he is still allowed to set a lap time. Okay, so we go on board with Matty. Number 2 in the championship. Oh, and he invalidates it. And with him being in a P9, that's not the qualifying he would have hoped for.
And he could lose more time. Because obviously he's got a couple of tenths in hand. But if some of the guys behind improve their lap times, he's going to be out of the top 10.
He could well and truly be outside of the top 10.
Ricky didn't make it.
Ricky didn't make it. Oh no. I'm currently on board.
Charlie.
Okay, Charlie.
Final straight. It's going to be, it's a 19.5, just behind. A lot of people improving in the
Harold.
end. Now we've got Mercedes.
Yep, that is Harold. Currently in P8. And it remains in P8. So we go now on board with Jay Prentice. Oh, and he validates it. He runs wide, coming out of turn 12. Almost another victim. But I think this is it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other improvements.
So there we have Lars in prime position, being in P11. We'll be happy with that one. But yeah, Jizzy and Kelso both haven't been able to put in a lap time because they lost it at turn 12. Matty won't be happy at all being in P9. That's a terrible position to start the race on, especially around a track where overtaking isn't that easy. Steve will be pretty happy with P7, I guess. I think he couldn't have wished for anything better, knowing the guys who were there front. Rage Snipes, of course, with pole position. But look how close it is between Rage Snipes, Jacek and Ricky. Oh my days. And Charlie as well, to be honest. All within a tenth of a second. 4 people within a tenth of a second.
Yeah, you love to see it. And yeah, very close lap times by the top 4. In store for a cracker. Obviously these guys are quite a bit ahead of everyone else. It's Justin the only other guy to get into the 119s. Although only just.
Steve is in the chat and he says that he was 3 tenths up on his lap. But then it didn't go all to plan. That's a shame, but still in P7. Steve falling with the Irish flag as well, don't know why. Rage Snipes in P1, yeah?
Yeah, I was about to say Rage he did 3 runs on the softs end, so he messed up his first 2 runs. And did at the end, great drive.
He did at the end, under pressure, performed the absolute best lap of today's session. Jacek P2, Ricky P3, Charlie P4, Justin P5, Connor P6, Steve P7, Harold P8, Matty P9, Jay Prentice P10, Lars P11, Sergey P12, Dan P13, Hamilton P14, Roland P15, Thibaut P16, Kitten P17, Jissy P18 and Kelsweg P19. That's what you call timing.
Yay! Yes, this is going to be, I mean, if we don't get a safety car, fair play, but knowing in the past, turn 1, turn 2, it's a narrow track, no real runoff. So normally if you make a mistake, as we've seen in qualifying already, you get bitten pretty hard round here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, when people lose it coming out of turn 12, it doesn't always, well, the safety car doesn't always come out. Not even a virtual safety car at some point. So we will probably see, well, I would expect at least 2, maybe 3, 4 people losing it at turn 12. But then I still think that this is some sort of session race where the safety car just ignores it and won't come out. But on the other hand, we could have a session where at every single bit the safety car will come out. So yeah, we still don't know. We just have to wait and see. Oh, it's 29 laps actually. I said 26. Lovely stuff. For once I thought I was prepared by knowing the amount of laps and everything like that, and it still turns out it wasn't the correct amount of laps. Let's see, tires up on screen. We've got everyone inside the top 12 going for the softs. Then in P13 on the hards. Then we've got Kitten on mediums, Kelstar on mediums, and the rest of the grid is all on softs. Interesting.
And Thibaut hasn't been able to get going at the grid, so he's been put back on the grid because I'm guessing he's made contact with another driver in the formation.
So, let's see. Telemetry up on screen. Yep, interval is ready. So get your predictions into the chat, Lewis. What do you think? What's our podium gonna be looking like after 29 laps?
I reckon. I mean, it's hard to bet against the top 4 right here, judging from their pace and quali. I think it all depends really on Rage getting the good starts. I reckon he can do it. I just think Ricky, out of the 4 of them, is so street smart. I think it'll be Ricky, Charlie, Jacek. Ricky, Jacek, Rage, top 3.
I almost had the same, but I'm gonna switch Jacek and Rage around. So Rage P2, Jacek P3. I think Ricky is gonna win as well. We saw Ricky being very strong in the last couple of races, but then he was a couple of tenths off in quali. And we saw straight away that he's got the pace around here in quali as well, and knowing that he normally and usually is stronger in the race, I think he will just have he will have the patience. I think he will just wait for the right moment to make a move, make an overtake. He will knows when he can pit for mediums. He knows when he can pit for hard. When a safety comes out, we know Ricky. He's got it all planned out. He's got his teammate to help as well. He knows that his biggest drive was in P9. He's got nothing to worry about at this point. He can just drive his own way. Matty is the one with the pressure, so we have to wait and see. We can see 5 red lights. He's just waiting for the glitch. It's the 14th of December. 5 red lights here in Australia, around 19 of constant speed, tier 3. It's 5 lights and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. It's a good start from Rich. It's a good start from Charlie as well. Look at the start from Charlie. Jacek losing positions left, right and center. Is Ricky gonna make it? No, Ricky is not gonna make it. He drops down to P4, he drops down to P5. Is Justin gonna get past as well? No, he's not. Ricky on the outside, Connell on the inside. Connell is gonna break very late, but he needs to keep it round the outside, and I don't think that's gonna work. Nope, Ricky takes back P4. Is Ricky gonna take back P3 as well? Oh, he was sticking his nose in there, but it's gonna stay P4 for Ricky. Interesting start.
Oh, we got a Dan on the grass. Yellows in second 1 and 2. I think they all managed to get through.
Oh, it's Lars off onto the grass. Lars with a terrible start. Drops down all the way to P19 with his teammate in front and P18. Then struggling in P15. And Roland gaining positions left, right and center. He's already up into P12.
Yeah, those softs are working well. See, the vast majority of everyone sticking with the softs. Not many doing hards and mediums, so...
Oh, I think we've got a crash. It's Saigate.
Yeah, and we got Renault as well. I think it's Roland.
It's the captain. Roland and Saigate both off, and it's a virtual safety car.
Now, too early surely to do any pit stops, unless you think you can make
Rage is in. Rage is going into the pits. Race leader goes into the pits already after done one lap on his softs.
J Prentice is doing it as well, and Matty
Matty is following. What is Matty?
And he's got a 3-second penalty as well, Matty.
That's pretty early on in the race. Is he going on to the hards? Don't tell me those hards can go till the end.
Well, that's what they're all doing. They're all going on the hard tyre. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they can make it last, fair play. This maybe the other thing would have been to do. I mean, I guess the idea is, if there was a safety car later on in the race, you can go onto softs, but you're giving up track position right now. And this is a major turn. We'll only find out later whether that works, because obviously this is a VSC, so they have gained, they will gain. But can they last 28 laps on those hards? We've got a race, we've got a strategy, a brilliant strategy now at the top with JSAC and our championship contender Matty.
Yep, Matty will do everything he can to close in as much as possible. Of course, he's got the advantage of the virtual safety car, but it's definitely a very interesting strategy. Ricky is still stuck behind JSAC, who has to leave a gap of 1.1 seconds to Ricky's teammate Charlie, who's currently leading the way in P1. We've got yellow in sector 3, that is Jay Prentice. No, it's not Jay Prentice, it's his brother Jizzy. Jizzy is off, coming out of turn 13. It's not looking good for him. Race Times is coming towards the back of him. And he's overtaking Jizzy. I think Jizzy with wing damage, yep, on the left hand side. Damage for Jizzy. He will have to come in and change his front wing.
Yeah. So you got the top 3. Charlie, JSAC, Ricky, and then Connell closely following behind. And even just they're all staying much closer in the race so far. Connell's rear end is looking super spinny. Yellow in second, Jizzy's retired in the pits, so first retirement already, but Connell, I'm going to be honest, those rears don't look good already on lap 3. He's worked them hard. Watch out in that chicane when we end sector 2 into sector 3. It's 11 and 12, I think.
Yeah, that's the fast chicane, 11 and 12.
Yeah, Connell, doesn't look confident around there. His rears are very unstable.
Let's see, Ricky, is he gonna be able to get past JSAC in front? The only thing is, JSAC will get slipstream from his teammate in front, or from Charlie in front, I would say. Teammate of Ricky is JSAC, lining up a move on Charlie. He is closing in, he puts in the fast lap of the race as well. Is he gonna do it on the second straight? We can see a racing point in the Mercedes in the background. They're making contact, Charlie goes deep. JSAC is gonna go the long way around. Did he get the better exit? He did get a better exit. Is he gonna brake late? He is gonna brake very late. But Charlie closes the door. Ricky now around the outside. This will be brilliant team play from Ferrari, and I think he's gonna make it. He is gonna make it. Ricky up into P2. What a lovely move. Brilliant move. And it's Hamilton and Steve fighting together. But Hamilton stays in front of Steve.
Yeah, great action so far. Those two Ferrari guys. Ricky has so much more pace. Charlie is starting to struggle on the heavy fuel loads. He ran wide turn, which gave JSAC the opportunity. And Charlie now looks like he's going to let Ricky through, is he?
Charlie is letting Ricky go through. Multi-21 right there. Interesting place to do so, because now JSAC is going to get past. This was a terrible plan, because now JSAC is through, and this is definitely not worked out well by Ferrari. So JSAC splitting the two Ferraris now.
Yeah, and JSAC.
Oh, they make contact.
JSAC should still get DRS, but he was forced to take a tight line there. And Charlie's using that ER energy to make the move and to allow this is going to help Ricky so much.
Oh, Charlie pushed JSAC onto the grass.
And there goes Connell, his teammate, and so to the Red Bull of Justin.
Oh, and Harold is going to go for the move as well. Harold gets past JSAC. JSAC losing 4 positions.
Oh, he's made contact with Dar. That's going to happen. Oh, he just made contact with Connell, but being fair on the inside, he just, that rear end so light at that angle, 180 degree, and those tyres are going to be hot now, and Justin is going to be frustrated about that. It's one of those, Connell did give him the room, but he just wasn't far along enough side of Connell, and a bit of contact was made, and yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, JSAC crossed out massively because of that.
Yeah, JSAC, he just didn't defend the inside. He had time enough to move to the inside, and Charlie wouldn't have been able to make a move. He left the door open. Charlie made full use of it. Did run him wide onto the grass. I don't know if it was because of not leaving the space or just JSAC running wide onto the grass. But that gave JSAC a terrible exit and allowed Harold, Connell and Justin to get past. Justin collided, so he got that position back, but JSAC dropped down all the way to P5, and his teammate Connell now is defending for his P3. Is Harold gonna go for the move on a second straight? Both with DRS, but Harold with a much better access to go the long way round. Is he gonna brake late? He is gonna brake late. Oh, still side by side. And he's gonna hang it round the outside, which turns into the inside now. Job done, P3 for Harold. Brilliant move from the Mercedes. Connell drops down to P4.
Harold is flying. Let's see how many positions he's made. Made 5 places so far. Harold, yeah, he's on an absolute charge. And pace-wise, if you look at lap times, he is 124.5. That's only a 10% over Ricky's best. But that is comfortably quicker than Charlie. As I think Connell is letting JSAC through. Indeed he is. So JSAC now to P4. But yeah, JSAC fastest man on, fastest lap so far. As JSAC gets a 3-second penalty. Obviously, multiple warnings. But yeah, Charlie not that quick on race pace at the moment. 125.1. You got Connell, JSAC, Cross, Hamilton, all quicker. Though saying that, these softs will all be now far long past their best. And in fact, Harold is in the pits.
Connell as well. So 2 guys from the top 5 into the pits. It is Harold who's gonna box for the hard tire, and I think Connell is gonna do the same.
Yeah.
Yep, he is. So both on towards the hard tires. They're gonna go till the end of the race without having to make another pit stop. So that's all good for them, and it's gonna be very interesting to see where they're gonna come out on track as soon as they are across the pit. Is Connell gonna stay in front of the McLaren? Yes, he is. Okay, so now they can run their own pace, try to see how the hard tires are working, and then it's gonna be very interesting to see when the leaders are gonna make their pit stop, where they're gonna come out. Are these guys gonna gain time on the leaders, or are the leaders on the soft still gonna pull away from these guys on the hards? That's gonna be the big question.
Rage is 5.6 ahead, or 5.5 ahead of Harold. So that shows you how much time Rage is able to gain in VSC with his pit stop. Obviously his lap tyres are 5 laps older, and that will come back to haunt him towards the end of the race. But right now, his Rage's pace is very identical to the pace of Harold's. Charlie's in the pits.
Charlie into the pits, so so that means Ricky stays out for another lap. Hamilton and Steve stay out as well, together with Kelsweg, so they all go longer into this race. Of course, Kelsweg on those mediums will definitely go longer into this race. Ricky opted to go for another lap. That's interesting. He probably feels that the tires are still okay, and he just wants to make sure that he is on the fresher tires of all of them as soon as he makes his pit stop. So you can understand the fact that he stays out, but is it gonna work, or will he lose a lot of time by staying out that extra lap?
Yeah, we'll see. guessing this is going to be, yeah, he's got the little marker, so the little tool icon. So this is his pit window. He will be coming in at the end of this lap, unless he, for some reason, wanted to change, but I don't think that would be the smart thing now. With those softs, they will be far past their due by date. Coming in the final sector. He is currently 21.2 seconds ahead of Rage, who is the guy furthest up who's pitted. And that gap is coming down quite a lot, so I think he's lost a bit of time on this lap.
He lost about 4/10 to Charlie, but that will still mean that he comes out in front. Hamilton and Steve are both into the pit as well, so top 3 is into the pits. That means Kelsensweg is gonna be your new race leader, with Thibaut following closely in P2. He is still on 8 lap old softs. Where is Ricky gonna come out?
Going to come out behind Rage. Oh, he gets a bit of a rear end there. A wheel spin, but yet Rage still just ahead of Ricky. Although Ricky has 7 lap fresher hards. Take a bit of time to warm up, but yet the Ferrari of Ricky still 1.7 second gap, and some clear daylight ahead of his teammate.
Yeah, Ricky will be much quicker towards the end of the race. That's very understandable, of course. It will be very interesting to see if Rage Snipes can stay ahead of both Ferraris and for how long he can do so. He's got some traffic in front which he has to negotiate by the likes of Kitten, then Thibaut and Kelsensweg. They're both a little bit further down the way, so nothing too much to worry about for now, as Dan picks up 3 seconds in the process. But yeah, Rage Snipes, he needs to maintain his pace and needs to make sure that Ricky stays outside of the 1 second window for as long as possible.
Yeah, so coming up lap 9, soon to be lap 10. And Kelster obviously one of the few that started on the medium, Dan obviously started on the hard, and Kitten started on the hard, medium as well. Pit window open for Kelster. I mean, on lap 9 on those mediums, it doesn't last much longer than the softs, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think he still got it on because of his usual strategy, which would have been around now. I think that is why the thing is still on the telemetry. He will definitely try to make those hard tires towards the end, or he is praying for a safety car. Oh, it's Dan coming out of turn 5. I said it.
This could be.
It is virtual safety car. Ooh,
no one's near the pits.
No. Oh, Lars is in.
Yeah, Lars retired.
Never mind.
So, yeah, unfortunately, none of these guys are going to be able to take advantage of this. Because people like Kelster or Thibaut's extended his soft run far longer than anyone else has. But yeah, I just don't think these guys are going to do it. Yeah, I saw Dan run wide, and when I was watching the Thibaut Kelster, and yeah, went into the wall, did a Kubica from 2009, and the wheel flung off, and that's it. So, oh my god!
Thibaut's going to come in.
Thibaut's crashed.
No!
And he's reset. So, I don't know what happened there, and now VSC's ended.
So that's his advantage completely out of the window. And 5 seconds in the process. Well, you hate to see it.
I don't know what happened there. He just avoided a major incident, and then he lost it going into the pit lane. Let's try to get 3 seconds of multiple warnings. Now, this helps Rage a little bit, not massively, but for 1 lap, it stops the charge of Ricky. So we've got another yellow in sector 1. That's clear. But yeah, interesting is, can Ricky? I mean, Ricky is quicker. Obviously, he should be quicker. But Rage still has a great chance here of a podium, I think, as long as those hards don't blow up.
Yeah, the gap remained the same. Of course, it was virtual safety car conditions for quite a bit, but at least the gap remained the same, and it didn't got any closer between Ricky and Rage Snipes. Matty, at this point is in P10 and he is stuck behind the McLaren of Jay Prentice. 3/10 is between those two as he is looking to get past Jay Prentice. He got so close to the back of that McLaren through turn 12. I haven't seen it much closer before, but with the DRS he is being able to go round the outside. Job done by Matty. Lovely move, a little bit of contact, but it should be all good. That's Matty up into P9. He will be very happy with that one, as you can now see Connell up in front.
Yeah, it was a very good move. He rather than the switch back, he just wanted to brake later, get the move done round the outside, and he's now on the hunt, on the charge. He has got obviously older hards, but him and Jay Prentice were one of the earlier hitters at the end of that opening lap of the VSC, so unfortunately for Matty, the guys ahead of him, apart from Rage Snipes, they're all much fresher hard, so it's going to be hard for him to catch the guys ahead. Although so far he's doing pace much better than Connell, so he might be able to get up, but obviously when Kelster and Kitson do pit, they'll need 2 extra places gained, so he is at the moment in a net P7, with Ricky and P will be a net P2, and is catching Rage quite dramatically in that last lap. I think still not good enough. Ricky here is now 1.7 behind Rage, so the pace is coming.
Oh, but Rage Snipes gets past Kitten, so that was why he lost a lot of time as well. But I think Ricky will get past on a start-finish straight, and that would mean that the gap between him and Rage Snipes will pretty much be a second. Let's see, will Kitten get DRS? Yes, he will, but he is not gonna make life hard for Ricky, I assume. Let's see. Oh, he stays in front to turn 1. He's got all the right to, of course, to stay in front. He is moving out of the way now. Ricky will get past into turn 2, braking late, getting moved on. So now we can see the gap between Ricky and Rage Snipes, which is 1.4 seconds. So he closed in 1.2 seconds on the last lap. Ricky is on a charge and he is pushing for a net P1 in this race.
Yeah, and this difference in lap time between Rage and Ricky is only going to get bigger as obviously Rage gets towards the end. We're not even halfway through, we're just about to reach the halfway point of this race. So long way still to go on these set of tyres. Fascinating to see how these guys, how Rage lasts, whether he needs to do a 2-stop. It wouldn't, it's because of how slow the pit lane is, like you say, in the beginning, 2-stop. Unless the safety car is not worth going for. Maybe there's a safety car later on and 10 to go, it might be worth for Rage to pit for softs, but other than that, I think he's still got the pace to be in the podium.
I think he has, yeah. Kitten will crop out between those guys, then that would mean that Charlie is 2 seconds behind. It's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be very tricky, but I don't think Rage has got another option. Talk about Charlie, he's being put under pressure by Jason pretty much the full midfield at this point. Did pick up time penalties, so that's something to keep in mind as well coming towards the end of the race. Jacek within 5/10 now. Problem is Charlie will get the DRS from Kitten in front, so there's not much Jacek can do at this point in the race. Harold is 2.3 seconds behind, and Connell, I don't know what happened to him, but he lost out on a lot of time during the virtual safety car and pit stop.
Yeah, what happened there? But yeah, oh well, I'm sure he'll tell us afterwards, but also got Kelster pace-wise, all those rears are starting to struggle. He took that turn 12 very lightly. Charlie gets another penalty.
Yeah, Charlie's stuck behind Kitten. He is moving towards the outside now, gets the job done before the braking zone. That's Charlie up into P4, but he picked up 3 seconds in the process. Kitten the only one now from the midfield who hasn't picked up a penalty yet. And we're gonna focus on the battle. Well, let's firstly focus on the battle between Kitten and Jacek, because I think Jacek will get past into turn 1. Or will he wait up until turn 3? I think it will be turn 3. Like we saw with Ricky as well. I think Kitten is gonna do the exact same. It will make sure he is not losing too much time because of Jacek overtaking him. He can still continue on with his race. J-Stack down in inside, gets the job done. Let's focus on the battle between Connell and Matty now, as this is spicing up. Matty 6 tenths behind Connell. This is the battle for P8 in this race.
Yeah, it's Matty Cruz desperately trying to get through. I think we're also going to have a battle for the lead at the moment. It's Kelster, Rage, and Ricky are all together. I think there could be some spicy action going on out of turn 12 with Rage. But Matty's a bit not quite close enough yet to really challenge for both DRS.
No, definitely not. I know Kelster and Rage are very good friends, so Kelster will probably let Rage Knives go through, and this is exactly what I wanted to say. Kelsterweg is going to make sure Ricky is not going to stay within that 1 second window of Rage Knives. This is going to be great team play, although they are not teammates, and Ricky knows exactly what's happening at this point. Ricky already wants to go for the move for Kelsterweg defense, and Kelsterweg is going to stay out for another lap. And he is gonna burn off everything he's got to make sure Ricky is gonna stay behind. Gelsweg is doing a brilliant job for Rage Knives at this point in the race. Ricky looks up and he needs to think about his championship. He needs to play it smart, and he needs to make sure he's not gonna pick up any damage, because that will hurt his championship. Gelsweg stays in P2. Ricky gone deep onto the grass. Gelsweg remains in P2. And this is costing Ricky so much time.
Yeah, I think, because Kelster's got no tyre left. Oh, he's on the grass, going down the inside. He makes the move, and Charlie's going to follow suit. Yeah, Kelster's tyres are completely gone. But look at that, the gap's gone to 3 seconds. Just like that, he's got all that time to gain again. Luckily, he's got the second half of this race to catch it. But yeah, I think the move, Ricky, looking back, he'll be annoyed. I mean, the move was there for him to make it. He got caught out by, Kelster, being tight, but he gave him the room. Ricky should have just let go of the brakes a little bit and just made sure he got that move done. But he didn't want to get damaged, completely get it, as Charlie gets another penalty. But, Ricky definitely has the pace. He's already taken 3 tenths out on the second half of this lap alone. So Ricky will catch up again. But it's just obviously got a bit more work to do.
Yeah, during your talk I had a little bit of an orgasm, because I was on a helicopter view and it was absolutely amazing. I wish we had a battle going on as well at that point, but that unfortunately wasn't the case. Ricky closed in 6 tenths through sector 3 alone. He is very low on ERS, but the extra amount of grip he's got is giving him so much time that I don't think Ricky is going to be in danger of the race win. I think nonetheless he will take victory in today's race, as he's got much fresher tires compared to Rage Knives, and I think definitely towards the last, well, I would say 5-6 laps, he will be much quicker than Rage Knives.
I wouldn't count out yet, obviously, because you have got potential penalties. Because if Ricky gets a penalty, obviously, and Rage doesn't, then it's a 5-second swing that he's got to do, which is much easier said than done. So it's not all over the LC. Rage does have track position. There's a long way to go. But yeah, at this moment, Ricky is catching. But we'll see. Charlie is getting helped along. He's still just in that 1 second zone. So too is JSAC, to be fair. So they're all just... In fact, JSAC's just outside. Oh, JSAC does get DRS as well. So they're all in that DRS train. So this is going to help them all close back into Rage.
Kitten left the session, and that is exactly at the point where he probably wanted to come into the pits to change to a set of soft tires.
Yeah, because that's what Kelster's done.
Because yeah, that's what Gelsweg is doing. That is allowing Connell and Matty to get past. So that's Connell up into P6, Matty up into P7, as they're both chasing down Harold in P5. Like you said, Charlie is sticking along with Ricky. 8 tenths is the gap, and Jacek just can't get connected to the Ricky train. 1.2 seconds it is to Charlie up front.
Yeah, Jacek losing a bit of time now. It's still just about there, but it's crucial that they're both to compare outside of DRS now. Ricky's just about out of it now. And he is now 1.5 seconds behind Rage. gap has come down somewhat. But yeah, Kelster, obviously, just so you know, so he's the only guy who's done the medium to soft strategy. He's all the way down P14. He's just behind Tebow, but he's got so much time to gain. Obviously, those softs are massively better. So he gets 3 seconds. He's just so far behind everyone else. I can't see him really gaining too much with this medium to soft strategy. Unfortunately, he's just lost way too much in that first stint.
He definitely lost way too much time. He's stuck behind Tebow now. And you can see it on the bottom right hand side of your screen. Look at the gap. You see the yellow and blue dot on track. They're coming towards last turn now on towards start finish. Look at the gap between those two positions and the point paying position. It's huge because Steve is already up into turn 3 now and they are just entering turn 1. So as it stands right now, it's definitely not working out for Kelswag, and it will be a big question mark of him scoring points in this race, because if someone is not gonna retire, I don't think that will be the case.
He's 5.3 behind. Well, that's just going down massively at the moment. He's 5 seconds behind Justin, but Justin's a further 7 seconds behind Steve, so it's just so much time. As JSAC now gets a penalty. So with the penalties, we have got 6 seconds for JSAC, 9 for Charlie, 3 for Harold, 6 for Connell, 6 for Matty. Our top 2 have none. Jay Prentice has none at the moment. So Jay Prentice is on. At the moment, Jay Prentice can gain quite a bit. It stands like this.
He could be a real pain in the ass for Matty, who is 4.9 seconds now further up the field, but he's got 6 seconds of time penalties. So at this point, Jay Prentice will overtake Matty at the end of the race if it stays like this. So Matty will have to push a little bit more to make sure he will stay in front of Jay Prentice. Crucial for Ricky to stay clean in this race together with Rage Snipes. Charlie already on 9 seconds, that's definitely gonna cost him a podium. As we can see, Jasek on 6 seconds behind and Harold on only 3 seconds behind, so it's definitely not working out for Charlie with his 9 seconds of time penalties already.
Yeah, so looking, I mean, Rage now is, luckily because there's no penalties, even though he drops behind Charlie and Jasek, he's still very comfortable because, yeah, Charlie's got 9 seconds as it stands. Obviously that can increase again. And JSAC has 6 seconds of penalties. But he can't let himself get too flustered. He does know how many penalties Charlie will have. He won't know how much JSAC has yet. What he might do if he obviously slow down. Here we go then, Ricky in that DRS zone. Lining up the move, I think, for turn 3.
Oh yeah, a little bit of an error during shifting up into into 7th gear, and that cost him his good exit, so he has to be following Rage Snipes for probably another lap. And to be fair to Rage Snipes, he's doing a brilliant job to keep these guys behind, because on 19 lap old hards already, that is the amount of laps Ricky will do on his hards, and they still have got 8 laps to go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they will be like at the end. Building out a cliff with those hearts. Will it just be slowly, gradually just getting worse and worse?
Normally on this game, those hearts get quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
But knowing the amount of laps they, or Rage Snipes in this case, still has to do, I don't think that will be the case towards the end of the race. And it's going to be very interesting if there will be no puncture. It is Harold losing it coming out of turn 12. He lost it at turn 11, I think. Or I don't know what he did do, but very strange place to lose it. But he is dropping position left, right and center, and that will allow Kelswag to score points in this race. Like I said, if nothing happens at the front, then he won't score any points, but with Harold now, he will definitely score some points.
And it was crucial as well. Matty gained some pace because of it. Yeah, now Matty, he's starting to struggle, obviously. He's just outside the DRS zone of Connell, so he just can't match those. So being lap 20, those hards. I think it was a mistake ultimately.
I think it was. Yeah, you can see him dropping out now. He's losing time to Connell.
Yeah, look at this, Ricky. Right up on the back of Rage.
And it shows enough that Charlie is being able to stay with this battle as well, because we saw that Charlie didn't have the pace when he had to follow Ricky when they were in P1 and in P2. He can stay within that 1 second window now, so that shows that he can match the pace of Rage Snipes. And that means that Rage Snipes will have a very hard time defending this position for the remaining 6 laps, including the 6th lap. It will be 7 laps in this race. Oh, yellow sector 3, it's Cole Hamilton, it's a safety car.
Oh, and they've just gone past the pits as well, so Rage can't even make the stop. We've got a dramatic finish.
And look at Matty. He is the one in prime position to pit for softs, and he is, yep, and that's a smart decision.
Driving penalty for Tebow.
Oh, Tebow, no.
Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. Rage. Is Rage going to pit because obviously the safety car? Have they picked up the safety car? Yes, they have. They've picked it up, so Rage won't be able to. He won't be able to even go at a quick pace. So Rage has been forced. He won't be able to pit. Rage is going to have to stay, because if he tries to pit, he's going to be right at the back, at least with Matty. Because a lot of people have behind pitted, so Matty's kept his P6 in the end. Because everyone behind has pitted.
Oh my days! This is gonna be insane.
This is what we needed for a dramatic ending. Because Rage, Rage would be annoyed because he was actually doing a great job at keeping Ricky behind, Ricky in the important places. But now, if we go on to penalties, Matty's on 6 seconds, Connell's on 9, J-Sack 6, Charlie on 9. And then the top 2 are not. Jay Prentice and Steve, they're on no penalties at the moment. Same with Kelster, same with Kitten. So, we could have a really, I don't know who's going to get that podium, that final podium score, or even the top 2. Because are Rage and Ricky going to pit? I don't think you can, because the whole field now is almost caught up with the safety car.
Yeah, I don't think that it is a smart decision to come into the pits. I think Rage will just be happy about the fact that he will probably have another lap of safety car conditions, so that will mean they will enter lap 24. And he will be happy about the fact that when the safety car comes in, there won't be any DRS, who should be able to stay in front for another lap. And then it just gets closer and closer towards that lap 29. So I think Rage will be happy. I think Ricky will be fuming about the fact that Matty is able to close in on fresh softs, and he won't be able to get past Rage Snipes for probably another 2 laps.
This is going to be an exciting finish now. If you're Matty, your heart's racing. If you're Ricky, your heart's racing. If you're all of them right now, that heart is going a little bit stronger and faster, because the unknown is here. We're looking, ideally at the earliest, obviously, because it is we're already on in lap 24. So that would mean we're starting lap 25 and 29. That would give us 5 laps, which is more than enough for these soft runners to get past these guys who are on, say again, Rage on 22 lap old hards, Ricky's on 15 lap old hards, and Charlie and J-Sack and Connell 16 and 17 laps on those hards respectively. They're not going to be a match. The only thing they have on their side is obviously Australia isn't the easiest of tracks to overtake on. But with this tyre advantage, it's going to be a big help for these guys on those softs.
Yep, the only thing for Matty is the safety car. Yep, safety car comes into the pits. He's got 6 seconds. That's the only thing that's probably gonna hurt him towards the end of the race. Because
a lot of them have. I know Ricky doesn't.
Yeah, Ricky doesn't, and Rage Snipes doesn't.
But how close are they to a penalty? That's the question. And with all this flurry of action going to happen, are we going to see penalties scored by Rage and Ricky by the end of this race? Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen.
All yours, mate. You can do the safety car restart. It's all yours.
So here we go then. This is what could be a crucial point in this championship, as well as the race. When is Rage going to jump? I think Rage is going to go for it. No, he's going to wait until the final corner, or is he going to wait? No, he's put it down now. The final corner, he exits. It's a good run, and look at it behind. You've got a big bagel of cars here. The two Williams and the Sauber or Alpha of Matty, 3 wide. They're looking at it. But it is Rage from Ricky, Charlie, and Jace at Connell, and Matty, Robbo Matty on those softs. Looking very racy. He'll be able to get the time. The Williams defended very late. That was a very late move, but Matty's going down the inside. He has to. And he does it. Matty's up in a P5. And Jake Brent is also looking for a way through. And it's nudged out by Connell.
Connell had to move out when that was moving. Jay Prentice off the track. Is Matty gonna go for the move down the inside already? No, he's not. He's just bump drafting. Jacek in front. And is he gonna go for the move down the inside? You would say so. No, he's thinking better of it. He needs to stay patient because.
They both almost lose it. Side by side now. Oh, who's gonna back out here? Oh, mate, it's the same thing because he'll get a better run now. With the DRS or ERS rather he's using. As Ricky's trying to get past Rage as well. And Manga's on the outside.
Round the outside! What a brilliant move from Matty.
And meanwhile there's chaos behind him. Jay Prentice trying to get past Connell. He finally does it. Ricky's desperately trying to find past Rage.
It is Harold running into the back of Steve. Steve remains in P9. Steve is actually gonna score points. What is a safety car?
Oh, Tebow's crashed it. Oh, and this is going to help again. Those guys on the hards. Matty's going to be absolutely furious about the safety car coming out again. And they've just missed the safety car as well, so...
It will be one more lap behind the safety car. So they will enter lap 27. Because the safety car is just gonna wait. Yeah, the safety car is gonna wait. So they will have probably 2 laps to race. Yeah, without DRS. They won't have DRS at the end of the race.
Matty's gonna be so annoyed by that. Because obviously he was now in the pound seat and had plenty of laps, so he's gonna lose those laps. And those hard runners as well, obviously it saves their tyres. Rage is still on course for P1. You know, this race. You know, we could have had a VSC. No, come on, game. We could have had a VSC at least.
This is kind of ruining the end of the race. As everyone is just making overtakes left, right, and center.
Because it's still a 1 lap. It's going to be a dive for 2. If you've got 2 laps, that's still enough for Matty to get a decent position. Or the big problem is the guys who have all these big penalties right now, like Charlie as well. They're going to be severely hurt by this because obviously the gaps all joined together.
I can't imagine what those 2 remaining laps are going to be looking like as soon as the safety comes into the pits. It's going to be like incidents left, right, and center, or some amazing moves, or just a mix from all of those scenarios. But it's gonna be chaos nonetheless. I'm absolutely sure about that one. Rage Snipes will go on board with him. We can see the safety car in front, so they closed up to Bernd Meilander in the Mercedes. As they will probably have, like we said before, 2 more laps of green conditions before the end of the race. As it's getting darker and darker as well, maybe we can see some spits of rain in the process as well, which would make this race even more interesting than it is already. It's just the fact Tier 3 never disappoints. It's proving it once again.
This track is a beta. We've lost so many guys. 13 left. And, yeah. I mean, I'd love the safety car to come in on this lap.
Yeah, he's going to.
Surely.
Surely, I'm 100% sure.
Give us the 2 laps. Give us
If the safety car doesn't come in this lap, I will give away a sub. Probably this lap.
So you got the giveaway. Oh, no,
Yes!
it's in!
Get
Yes!
in! Get in! Gamble
I was
works.
thinking we were getting close to that sector there. I was like, oh. So we got 2 laps then.
We've got 2 laps of racing. Lucky even in the chat. So here we go. When is Ray Snipes gonna get the field on the way? He's leaving a big gap already to the safety car. Is he gonna go at the same point? Or is he just gonna wait? Or is he gonna go earlier? I want to say is he gonna wait to the last turn, but that's why he released it on the last time. If he is smart, he's just gonna wait until the last turn to make sure Ricky's not gonna get past. When he's going already, and he's looking up the inside, but is going now. And it's a gap of, he caught off Charlie. Look at Charlie, 1.7 seconds behind Ricky. And this is gonna be easy job for Matty to get past.
Yeah, Matty's going for it. He's going to tighten the line for the Ferrari. He's going around the outside, is he?
He gets job's done already. Matty with a brilliant recovery in this race.
Charlie's diving it down the inside, but that's never going to work. He ain't got the grip. So Matty now is going to charge, and he'll be able to take that 2 seconds quite quickly.
And Ricky knows he needs to get past Ray Snipes as quickly as possible, as Matty will be closing in. We have to keep in mind, look at Jay Prentice. Jay Prentice at this point is going to get on towards the podium because he is clean from any penalties.
Yeah, Matty eating into this gap already. We got yellow in sector 2. And it's Kelster. To Kelster's round. Yeah, Matty's taking massive chunks out of these guys. He's going to be with him for the last lap.
Jay Prentice and Charlie side by side. Jay Prentice with a move we've seen Matty do before, and he moves himself up towards P4. Brilliant job by Jay Prentice.
It's a net P3 because Matty's got 6 seconds. Now Ricky will know Matty has 6 seconds. It's the final lap. Can Ricky's as the fastest lap goes to Matty there, 1:23.24, so Matty's going to get the fastest lap point at least. But yeah, this is all mental finale. Oh, disqualification. Failed to use the required compound. So
we haven't seen that in a very long time. His AI put him on mediums after he was on mediums already. So yeah, that's the mistake from the game as well, because he disconnect. Nothing to do about for Kitten. We have to focus on the battle for the lead. It's the last lap. What is it gonna be? Is Ricky gonna go for the move on Rage Snipes? Or is he just gonna stay in P2 knowing that Matty is on 6 seconds of time penalties? Which will mean that Jay Prentice is gonna take the final podium spot here around Australia.
Yeah, this is tense for Ricky now, because he knows the race win is there for the taking. And he's just got no energy. I think that's it. Rage is gonna somehow win this race, it looks like.
Is Ricky gonna go for a very late move? No, he's not. So this should be job done for Rage Snipes. And then he is gonna manage 28 laps on the hard tires. What a absolute brilliant race from Rage Snipes. Ricky P2, Jay Prentice takes the final podium spot with Matty in P4, Jacek P5, Jacek drops down to P7 with Steve taking P5 in this race. I can't believe my eyes. Harold P6. Oh my days.
Yeah, Charlie down to P10 in the end of all those penalties. You know, and that's what's cost Charlie in the end.
Yeah, Kitten, we as commentators can't invite you back to the session as soon as we're loaded into the lobby. So someone else from outside the grid should have done it. But I think I gave you at least 2 invites. But that could be my fault. So sorry for that one if that was the case. Yeah, something was wrong with the test because I didn't see it. I don't know what the case was for you. But nonetheless, those started from Ray Snipes held on, and he took victory here with a brilliant performance. We've got to say it.
And Jay Prentice nicked the fastest lap at the end as well.
No way, did he?
Yeah, Jay Prentice got 122.7.
Oh,
so,
Matty will be fuming about that one. So here we have it. Final standings for today's race. Ray Snipes P1, brilliant race from him. Ricky P2, Jay Prentice P3, Matty P4, Steve P5, Harold P6, Chaser P7, Roland P8, Justin P9 and Charlie taking the final point in P10. Connell P11, Kelswag P12, Thibaut P13, Cos Hamilton P14, Dan P15, Lars P16, JC P17, Seige P18 and Kitten P19.
Wowzers.
Hectic, but once again brilliant race. Steve P5.
P5, and that was on a set of mediums as well. Whilst everyone around him was on softs, he went on to fresh mediums. He must have not had any softs, or he messed up on the pit. So yeah, what a drive! That's brilliant.
I can't believe my eyes. Steve in P5. That's amazing stuff from Steve. Really well done. So we're gonna invite Ricky, Rage and Jay Prentice to commentary box. Let's see. And then we can put the Racing Point back on screen again, as we saw the Ferrari for the last couple of weeks quite a bit. Jay Prentice, Rage Snipes and Ricky, there we have it. As we're gonna put the Race Point up on screen as we're waiting for the guys to join the commentary box. There is Jay Prentice already. Now waiting for Ricky and Rage to join as well. There is Ricky, so only waiting for Rage Snipes. Yeah, we're gonna start off with the interviews already, as we've got the number 3 into our commentary box already. Jay Prentice, fellow commentator as well, but then for the Tier 1 guys on the Wednesday. First of all, congratulations on the P3. By keeping it clean, it gave you the podium at the end, and you took the fastest lap on the last lap as well in the process. You must be really happy with the result, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting it at all, to be honest. I think you saw my pace was bottom end top 10, and the gamble at the start, the Hearts would have got to the end, but they would have, they'd probably take me to 6th or 7th. So, yeah, overall, really, really pleased with the result. Was unexpected. Pleased with the fastest lap as well, because we're in a tight battle now for 3rd place, McLaren, with Red Bull. So it was good to get a lot of points on them. And yeah, really, really busy race. So certainly something to keep me awake.
Yeah, it was chaos towards the end of the race, but you kept your head clean, and at the end drove away with a brilliant P3. Yeah, before the safety car, because I think you went on to the Hearts after lap 1, wasn't it? Together with Matty and Rage Snipes. At the end, Rage Snipes took the win on those set of tires. Were you able to make it towards the end of the race, or was it going to be a tricky situation?
I would have made it. The tires were fine, but they're old Hearts. So obviously, when you get the chance to come in and pit and put fresh softs on, especially as the leaders were picked up by the safety car, they've gone past the pit lane, then yeah, you take it. Then obviously you've got to pick your way through traffic. 1 or 2 drivers defended really rather aggressively, I think it's fair to say. In the case of one driver I won't name, he went really far too aggressive. And then we came up against, I mentioned J-Sack last week, and I'll mention him again because he was firm but fair. So you know, fair play. It was a difficult end of the race. It certainly wasn't. It was a clean record, but not a clean lap, which I can assure you that now. So, very tough end of the race.
Really well done, mate. Congratulations on the P3. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Going to our championship leader, and he will be still lead the championship after this race. Ricky, congratulations on the P2. Yeah, probably some mixed feelings because you could have taken victory around here if that safety car didn't come out.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed with that. I feel like we had a massive tyre advantage at the end. I could see Rage was struggling, and it was just a matter of time before I made my move. And yeah, safety car kind of helped me last week, and this week it's gone against me. It's how it goes.
Yeah, luckily for you, Matty didn't overtake you, especially because of the time penalties, but also not on track. Yeah, was there any point in the race, especially when the safety come out, that you were thinking towards yourself, maybe I can go onto the soft tires and make it work, or were you just gambling on the fact that you could get past after the safety car conditions?
No, I think by the time we got back around, everyone had caught up, so I would have just lost track position, and I knew Matty had penalties, so I was just take the hit and try and extend the championship lead, I guess.
Well, at least, yeah, you took away some points from Matty once again. You remained in P1. That's at least some positive to take from this race. Still a good P2 at the end, so congratulations on that one. Really well done.
Cheers, Tom.
Then going on towards our race winner, Rage Snipes. First of all, amazing stuff to manage those tires towards the end of the race and then finishing in P1 as well. We won't we won't mention how lucky you are with the safety car coming out at the end of the race, but yeah, it was a brilliant strategy at the end. Did you think it was gonna work when you came in on lap 1, or was it just a big gamble and for you had to do something?
It was a big gamble because it didn't matter if I finished P2 or P1. I'm not fighting in the championship, so I gambled it, and it worked out because of the safety cars. So I'm very happy with that. And yeah, safety car finally my hero, not a bad luck.
Yeah, it worked on those hards. When the safety car came in the first place. Yeah, you remained in P1, but then with the second safety car, were you convinced that you were able to keep it in the lead, or was it still gonna be very tricky towards the last lap?
It would have been very tricky because those tires were just gone. There was no life in there. So I thought Ricky is gonna overtake me, but it didn't happen luckily. So yeah. I think if the second safety car didn't come out, Ricky would have won the race easily. To be honest, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the luck you need to have sometimes. Really well done, mate. Congratulations on the P1. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
And with that, it rounds off the stream for today. Congratulations once again on the podium runners, and I've got to mention Steve as well in P5. Really well done, mate. Congratulations on taking some big points. And thank you, Lewis, once again for joining the commentary box with me. It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah, it's great one. Great race. Well done, everyone, and congratulations as always on the P3. Well done. All three not getting penalties. So yeah, clean race, and congrats, and on to the next one.
Definitely on to the next one, as Ricky and Matty are going to continue their fight for the Tier 3 Championship. Thank you all for watching and tuning in to today's stream. If you don't want to miss any from Console Speed, make sure you follow us on social media and you hit the subscribe button and follow button on Twitch if we're there tomorrow. If you don't want to miss any races, make sure you tune in tomorrow for the AM2 and AU2 race, on Wednesday for AM1 and AU1, and on the Thursday for AU4. This was me, and as I always say, stay safe and goodbye.